I am always getting asked, what are the best packs in The Sims 4? Which Sims 4 packs are worth the money? What are the worst packs in the Sims 4 franchise? Well, sit tight, because I'm gonna tell you. Here is the infamous YouTube tier list. We are only gonna be focusing on Sims 4 expansion packs today. I want to fully break this down in terms of create a sim, build and buy items, and gameplay for each pack. In later videos, I'm gonna do the gameplay ones, and I'll also be doing the stuff packs and kits, but for today, we are going to fully focus on the expansion packs. So you can see at the top in green, we have Need It. Those are gonna be my favorite packs. Those are the best in my opinion. Then we've got the Like It category, which is like, you know, it's a good pack. Not the best, but it's good. Then we have Meh, meaning it doesn't really stand out from the rest, is just average. Then we have Hate It, which seems kind of extreme to me. This is gonna be packs that I don't like, I don't use often. And we have Delete It, aka Nuke It, never should have been made, I don't even want it to exist. All of the packs down here are color coordinated, starting with the light blue up here. Those are expansion packs. They're the biggest type of pack released in The Sims 4. They normally come with the most gameplay, build and buy items, create a sim items. They're also the most expensive type of packs, priced around 55 Canadian dollars. I bought all of these with my own money. This is not sponsored by EA, so everything that I'm saying here is based on my own experience, my own opinion. Let's begin. So Get to Work. The Sims 4 Get to Work is the first expansion pack ever released. It's dated. It's crying out for a refresh, as are a lot of these on here. So The Sims 4 Get to Work allows you to go with your Sims to their job. In most cases in The Sims 4, your Sims go to their career on their own. It's like a rabbit hole destination. You don't get to see what they're doing, but with The Sims 4 Get to Work, you can actually go with them. I find this to be a lot of fun. This only applies to 3 careers here. You can be a doctor, detective, or a scientist. All of the other base game like careers are not included, so you can't just go with them to any of those. We've got the retail business aspect, which I really personally love making businesses in The Sims 4. It can be a little overwhelming at first, but it is really fun. This pack also comes with Magnolia Promenade, which is a different Get to Work world. This world is very meh. There's only a few lots on there. I don't really find myself visiting this lot at all unless I'm making a business. A lot of people use retail businesses for like other gameplay challenges in The Sims, which can be really fun. It can get a little bit repetitive with the careers because you'll find a lot of the times you're doing the same thing every day. In the future, I would love to see a refresh on this. I would love to see different careers added to Get to Work. But for now, as a whole for gameplay, I think it's pretty fun. Create a sim items for me are not really that great. I find myself using this hat a lot. Just some basics in here, like some basic pants going on. I'm not particularly fond of the hairstyles that really come with Get to Work. Oh, and Get to Work comes with alien sims, so you can see the alien create a sim stuff up here. That is a fun feature. I personally like having aliens in my game, and you can travel to Sixum, which is like a hidden secret world in The Sims 4 Get to Work. So CAS is met except for the addition of aliens and build mode items. So the build and buy in Get to Work is intended for commercial use. You can see a lot of these items, like even the doors look like storefront doors. We've got some like industrial items down here. Like this is meant for if you're building a prison. I don't find myself using a lot of these items too much just because I don't really build prisons or like doctor's offices in The Sims all that often. Like here you can see all the science stuff. We've got mannequins if you're like adding clothing to your stores. We do have a couple new cameras though added with the photography skill here. So there is a lot of gameplay potential in these build and buy items, but not really ones that I use all that often. Get to Work I think is going to be our first meh. Gameplay is fun. It could be a little bit more added there. Next we're moving on to Get Together. So The Sims 4 Get Together is meant to be a very social expansion pack. You're meant to hang out with a lot of Sims. There's a lot of like social group features in this. One key feature is the ability to make clubs. So you can see here in this picture, these Sims have these little symbols above them. That means that they have a group that they've gotten together, they hang out, they do activities specific to their club. I actually really like this feature, and I've actually used it to get Sims to make money for me, which is a whole other situation. This feature is also really great when you're trying to keep your Sims together in a group, because sometimes your Sims will like get to the lot and then decide they don't want to be there and then leave, literally me. But using that actually keeps them there a lot better. Oh, and we get the dance skill and the DJ skill. These are really fun, especially if you've got like party Sims. They literally go out and do these like dance routines. And with Get Together, you get the world of Windenburg, which is personally one of my favorite worlds in The Sims 4. It's very big. There are a lot of different lots you can build on. Honestly, one of the biggest worlds I think that we have in The Sims 4. And there's tons of variety within that world too. Like there's a bar, there's libraries, there's a gym, there's nightclubs. I really think this pack is worth it just for the world in general. Create a sim items, I actually don't mind these. The website actually looks like it's missing quite a bit. Hold on. Yeah, I didn't see some of these on the website, which is kind of strange, but anyway, there's a lot of cute items in here that I do like. There's some really nice hair options in here as well. I use these items a lot. There's a lot of wallpaper combinations in here, some wood flooring options, which are nice, some stone flooring options. The furniture, a lot of it comes in like this older style. Like you can see some of these couches and chairs have a very specific style. We get the dance floors, of course. Yeah, there's some really nice items with this pack. I use a lot of these pretty often. Get Together, I think, is gonna be our first Need It. I love this pack, especially for the world. Overall, the world, the gameplay, build and buy, everything, I'm gonna put that up here. This is our first Need It. Next, we're moving on to City Living. So the Sims 4 City Living also comes with a really fun world called San Myshuno, and this is the first pack that comes with apartments in the Sims 4. Each of the apartments are different too. Like they come with lot traits, which can be really fun, and some of them have buffs that can allow your Sims to like gain skills faster, make friends easier. We get a couple new careers. We get the politician career and we get the food critic career. And San Myshuno is actually split into districts. So we've got the spice market, the fashion district, the arts quarter, and uptown. And each of these hold their own festival, which festivals in City Living I think are so much fun. I still use these pretty often. They're great places to send your Sims on dates, friend hangouts. The karaoke bar is really, really fun with this pack. You can see street performers, you can busk and earn tips. You can even like try out different cultural foods. Like there's a spicy curry challenge you can do. The romance festival is a must for dates. So actually gameplay I think is great in this pack. Then we move on to the Create a Sim and the Build and Buy items, and City Living is known to be really colorful, and I personally really love colorful things. These dresses are beautiful, tons of color and pattern on there. City Living also comes with some of these headpiece options, and why did they give this guy a red beard with his brown hair? I mean, I guess that's the thing. We have some nice tattoo options. A lot of these dresses, like that dress is so pretty. This jumper here is really cute too. And we have some more of the suit options for like the politician career. Like look how beautiful some of these dresses are, especially this one is one of my favorites. Look how beautiful. All the swatches are so pretty. Okay, I like the CAS items with City Living. Build mode items, we get elevators. I never ever use those. I find them really hard to build with. The build and buy in this pack covers a wide range of like cheaper looking items to really nice, colorful, expensive items. For example, we have this futon here. I use those quite a bit. It comes in the regular version and like a used, more worn looking version, which I think is kind of fun. It really expands your like gameplay options when you're doing like a cheaper budget. We have the busking station and the bubble blowing station and the karaoke machine, adding a lot of gameplay. We get the basketball net and we get this here. This is a really great item. Both of these actually, they allow you to sell crafted items on this table and paintings that you've made on this like display here. And I use those a lot, especially if you're doing like a gameplay challenge like Rags to Riches. Those are infamous for that challenge. Okay, so City Living is another Need It. I think this one is fantastic. Moving on to cats and dogs. Oh, this is gonna be hard for me. So the Sims 4 Cats and Dogs obviously allows you to have cats and dogs in your game. You can actually customize them. You can like go into Create a Sim and actually like add clothing. You can change the paint on them. You can customize their like breed and everything. You can either like create your pet from scratch or you can adopt them, which I personally find a little bit more fun. You can go on the computer and adopt a pet. We also get Brindleton Bay, which I really do like that world a lot. It's more of like a cute, cozy, like really homey kind of world. A lot of residential lots. We also get the vet option. You can run a whole clinic or you can just visit by like bringing your pets to the vet when they get sick. There's also like obstacle courses you can take your pets in. You can go to the lighthouse, which is a really nice feature in Brindleton Bay. But in terms of gameplay, this is hard for me because I really love animals. I have 2 dogs of my own. Cats and Dogs I think was one of like the first expansion packs I ever bought. But if I'm being honest, adding pets to my game is not really something that I do all that often. And let me tell you why. First of all, they take up a spot in your household, so you can only have 8 Sims in a family at a time without mods. And having pets will like take up that space. Not the biggest deal, but if you have a big family and like a couple dogs, then you're pretty much set. You can't add any more. I'm also a little bit ashamed to admit that I'm freaking 28 years old and cannot handle when these pets die in the game. So I literally just like don't bother. And I don't know, I feel like it's just one of those things that was really fun like in the beginning when I got the game, and I just don't really use it all that often anymore. Create a Sim items, obviously we have all of this like cat and dog stuff. We do have some nice hairs though. I really like that hair there. A lot of the CAS items are revolving around like the animals. So you can see this toddler thing here has like that cute little kitty dress, the leggings with like cats and dogs on them. Some of it is very cute though. Like I personally like the plaid wrapped around there. I like the plaid dress here. winter. Some of it looks very like cozy. This men's outfit I use quite a bit. But even when I do get pets in my game, the CAS feature for me is like not existent. I don't like to go in and paint them. I personally will put like a collar on them and like call it a day. So CAS for me is kind of meh. Build and buy. The build and buy items are actually quite nice. We have like a lot of traditional items for family homes in here. Some like nautical theme because Brindleton Bay is like right by the water, and the window and door selection are top tier. I love the windows and the doors. I use them all the time. A pretty big selection too. Like we have all of these ones here. That fireplace, that bed. Yeah, a lot of these items I find myself using pretty often. So the build and buy is pretty good. I'll give it that. So cats and dogs. Ooh, this one is the first really hard one. I don't want to put it at meh because of the world of Brindleton Bay, and the build and buy is really good. But I definitely don't want to put it up at need it because the gameplay and the CAS options I don't use a whole lot. I'm gonna put it at like it. It's a good pack, not the best. We're gonna leave it there. Moving on to seasons. Okay, this is another one for me that I might have a little bit of a different opinion on than most people. So The Sims 4 Seasons is obviously the one that's adding like weather, seasonal things into the game. This pack did not come with a world, which I think is really upsetting. It would have been so cool to see like what the seasons world would have looked like in The Sims 4. However, it does provide like a lot of changes to the existing worlds in the way that like every single world now has the seasonal feature, meaning they go through like all of the seasons, all different weather. It adds quite a few more deaths. You can get struck by lightning, you can die of heat stroke, you can die of freezing to death. They also have a bunch of seasonal activities. So you can see here they're like roller skating, but in the winter it turns into like an ice rink. You can play in the leaves, you can make snow people. We also have a bunch of holidays you can celebrate, from like Winterfest to Love Day to Hanukkah. You can actually make your own holidays too. And there is a big focus on gardening. We have the bee box, we have the floral arranging table. I personally love gardening in The Sims, so that's a big plus for me. Seasons is a tricky one for me because it's known to a lot of people as like a necessity. Like Sims 4 Seasons, people always say is one of the best packs that you can buy. And you really notice the effect of the pack on your game at all times, basically. I don't know why I never finished that thought, but basically I was saying that I feel like it's just a lot of money to be spending on a pack with a feature that's just going to be passive most of the time. A lot of people argue that because of that, this should be a base game feature, and then maybe like they could have done the holiday pack like as a game pack or something. I don't know, but it's not a base game feature and probably never will be, so we just have to judge it for what it is. Create a Sim with Seasons is really fun because we have like the cold weather and the hot weather option. So 2 extra categories for your Sims to dress in, and Seasons comes with a lot of like warm clothing, coats and stuff. Being Canadian, I personally love dressing my Sims in like warm coats, warm sweaters. There are some cute fun like holiday items in there too. So I'd say CAS is pretty good. I do like having the option of like adding different outfits for different weather. And this men's outfit is probably one of my favorites in the game. Then we have build mode, which I have always had a bone to pick with Seasons in terms of build mode. The windows, I love the windows. The items, again, like we have a lot of cute items. The beds are really cozy looking. We have all of the holiday items, which unless you're frequently building for different seasons in game, I don't really use these. Like obviously we're not putting like the Christmas tree in every build. A lot of this decor, like I don't really find myself using all that often. I'll use a lot of the autumn stuff when it's like that time of year, but other than that, not really. Doors are pretty good. A lot of like family home stuff in here. There's some stuff for kids as well there. It's just always bothered me that first of all, we don't have any flooring that comes with the Sims 4 Seasons, which is so weird to me. I feel like we could have used like a nice wood at the time or a tile or something, anything. And we only have a couple wallpapers, which the wallpapers that we have, I do like. So for Seasons, we're gonna put it at like it, I think. Not gonna put it up at need it. I don't think it's up there with the gameplay for me. However, I do think the added like weather and seasonal features are pretty essential. I'm gonna keep it at like it. I'm locking it in. Although looking back, I am leaning more towards meh. Moving on to Get Famous. So The Sims 4 Get Famous is obviously like in the name. It allows your Sims to become celebrities. They can gain fame, gain fans. They can become influencers, actors, musicians, whatever. You can even become famous by painting, which is really cool. And when you get famous, you get more attention from like fans that come around you. Sims will literally like start to faint. As you get famous, you also unlock this perk system, which is really fun. And you also unlock behavioral quirks. And it comes with the acting career. This is actually really fun, but very repetitive. I think I've honestly played with the acting career like a few times, and it's one of those careers similar to Get to Work where you can actually go with your Sim and like actively do the career with them. The fame thing can be really great if your Sim is the one who's famous, and very annoying if you're not famous. So unless you intend on getting your Sims up there to that celebrity level, you're actually not able to talk to a lot of the townies in the game. name. Judith Ward here, for example, unless your sim is super famous, you cannot talk to this woman. Then we look at Del Sol Valley. Del Sol Valley is like the biggest letdown of a world in all of the Sims 4 packs, I would say. There are only a few lots here that you can actually build on. Up here, we have like the more like expensive homes. When you go out there, the view is really nice. It's like up on the escarpment. You can also see fireworks in the distance. So, I mean, it is nice to build up there. We also have a couple of these lots over here, but again, it's just not really a lot in comparison to the other worlds that we have. And then down here, we have a few lots here. Some of these you cannot get into without being a celebrity. You'll see some of the lots have this like red velvet rope and only famous Sims can really get in there. I don't know. I remember when we got this world, it was a big letdown for me. The Create a Sim items I think are pretty nice. There's some costume items in here. I like the hairs. We also have some of the like more expensive looking dresses and suits and things. The only thing is I don't find my Sims being like in costume all that often. So without a lot of those costumes in mind, we're left with only a little bit of like everyday use items. The build and buy with Get Famous is really interesting because you get a lot of these luxury items here. These I only use if I'm doing like a really expensive budget build. We see like a lot of these set items here. I never really use those, but they also have this mid-century kind of style going on, like some retro looking items. I personally love a lot of these. Like looking at these now, I use a lot of these on a daily basis. Flooring and wallpaper options are kind of meh. Windows are like average. And then yeah, you get a lot of these like big set items that I personally just don't have a use for. All right, Get Famous is going meh. Next, we have The Sims 4 Island Living. So The Sims 4 Island Living comes with the world of Sulani. I personally love this world. This is one of the most beautiful worlds in The Sims 4. It's so colorful. The water looks gorgeous. It's very lush. I don't go there as much as I used to, only because building there is really specific. Some of the waterfront lots, you actually can't build any basements or pools on. So any of them that like back onto the water like this, you can't do that. In terms of gameplay, Sims 4 Island Living added mermaids, which mermaids are great in The Sims 4. I think they're a really cool occult sim to play with. They have like different features, like they can sleep in the water. But compared to a lot of the other occults that we do have in The Sims 4, these ones are really lacking. They don't have any kind of tier system where you can like move up and have perks or anything. I think it's a very shallow occult compared to the other ones. I really think they dropped the ball when it comes to mermaids in The Sims 4. For gameplay, you can become a lifeguard or you can do the diving career. You can also go snorkeling. You can go sailing on boats. You can also do jet skiing. It's a lot of like beach, obviously, gameplay, which I think is fun. It's a nice change. I send my Sims off there sometimes for like a day at the beach. Create a Sim items are really colorful. They're very beachy inspired. Honestly, like no cold weather attire here, obviously, at all. It's fun because you are able to customize mermaids. In terms of like everyday attire, I don't really use these all that often. And for the build and buy items, again, a lot of island decor. The landscaping items in this pack are top tier. I use these all the time, especially this item here. This is like one of my favorite basics for landscaping. We've got the pool floaties. We have some of the like island tiki bar stuff. I think the problem with Island Living for me is the color scheme. Like it's a lot of that orangey wood, which is very island appropriate, but unless I'm building in Sulani, I'm not using these like wide open windows. I don't know, personal preference, Island Living decor is kind of meh for me. So Island Living, you're going meh just as for mermaids in The Sims 4. Moving on to Discover University. So Discover University obviously allows you to send your young adults to post-secondary school. It comes with the world of Brightchester, which has like the different campuses on here. There's a couple different schools you can choose from, each with like their different degrees you can get, their different like focuses for that school. You can also move into university housing, which is really fun. You can have like roommates. But in terms of residential lots, there's only a couple down here, which I don't really ever like move my Sims in here. This world I probably visit the least frequently because the gameplay in Discover University to me is not fun at all. I tried to play through Discover University one time. It was on my channel, the first series I ever did, and I got so overwhelmed. I just don't like the idea of being late to class all the time and like having to do homework literally 24/7 in The Sims. You can choose how many classes you want to do, but even having only a few was like too much for me. I just found it not fun at all. There are some fun aspects to it, like we have the pong tables, the kegs, like that kind of social aspect of university is fun. fun. You can also have your Sims join like after school activities like esports and robotics. Yeah, in terms of gameplay, not it for me. Create a Sim though, this is widely known as one of the best packs for Create a Sim items. The hairs are beautiful, the outfits are gorgeous. Honestly, like all of this stuff I think is really, really nice. We get a couple cool tattoos, even some new piercings, a lot of like trendier items, I guess, like with Discover University. Yeah, one of the best for Create a Sim for sure. For build and buy, I'm a little bit torn. Like we have a lot of window options in here. Some of them I really like, some of them not so much. I do like the older style of these. Like I use some of that stuff quite a bit. The wallpapers and everything are intended for like looking like a school. So I don't use a lot of these in my regular everyday builds. I do use those bricks quite often though. And the furniture is pretty basic when it comes to Discover University. A lot of it is inspired by like IKEA furniture. So it's like really just cookie cutter kind of items. I know a lot of people really like the build and buy items in Discover University, but for me, it's leaning towards more meh. Discover University is gonna go in my first hate it category. I need to change it. Like, don't like it. I don't like the gameplay. Build and buy is meh. CAS is top tier though, but I do not like the gameplay at all. Also hated University in real life though, so yeah. Then we have The Sims 4 Eco Lifestyle, and this one, again, this is gonna be hard. I'll be honest, I'm pretty torn about the gameplay in this pack. It revolves around like recycling, fabricating items. There's the neighborhood action plans, which I find more annoying than good, really, in the game. Basically, your community can vote on these neighborhood action plans, and then they affect like your entire neighborhood until it gets changed again. I don't know, I always like miss the vote, and then I end up with like the neighborhood action plans where people just come and steal your stuff. You can deactivate them, but I don't know, it is a feature of this pack that I don't personally like. I do, however, really enjoy the crafting aspect of this game. Like we have the candle making station, we have the juice making station. I do like those aspects and the world that it comes with. Eco Lifestyle comes with this world here, Evergreen Harbor, and you can see down here, like currently my world is affected by pollution. You can change that by like actively working on reducing the footprint in game. But while that pollution is like present around your lot, it's gonna have this like orangey feel. It's gonna look more dirty. My problem with this world is that it has been broken since it came out. Like even just going into build here, you can see like this over here is broken for some reason. You can see there's like this weird blue line under there, and I've seen it even be worse than it currently is right now. Even back there, like what happened to that train track and why is it just being held up by nothing there? And you can see like the blue under this lot too. Like none of the other worlds do that. It's just this one. Like even over there under here, you can see a whole lot of that blue, meaning like this world is broken, and why they haven't fixed it yet is beyond me. For the Create a Sim items, I actually really like Eco Lifestyle for this. I love some of the hairs in here. It has this very like DIY worn kind of feel to it, which I like. You can see some of the pants have like patches on them, same as the shorts there. Just kind of a comfy, cozy style that is honestly great for everyday gameplay. We have a bunch of new piercings down here. They added the spacers feature, and the Eco Lifestyle build and buy is the reason why I'm so torn on this pack. Honestly, if the build and buy was not good, I think this pack could not be saved. However, I use a lot of these items all the time. The window selection is great. The door selection is great. Flooring and wallpaper I use very often, even though a lot of it goes for that like DIY style. Like we've got the cardboard dollhouse. We've got like the patchy like bed. A lot of it ended up looking pretty modern in my opinion. Like these end tables, these big sliding doors, the chairs and everything. And I remember thinking that this was one of the first Sims 4 expansion packs where they really paid attention to detail in their items, like those right there. There are like empty flower pots on there. There are some shelves with like some clutter items in there. This is definitely one of my favorite packs for build and buy, which makes this very difficult. Here's the thing, for me personally, I'm a builder. I love to build in this game more often than anything else, honestly. So for me, Eco Lifestyle is gonna go under meh for that reason alone. However, if you're not into building, I would probably rank this more like down here. But for me, I'm gonna keep it at meh just because of the build and buy catalog being so good. Moving on to Snowy Escape. The Sims 4 Snowy Escape is a great pack in my opinion. It comes with all these like winter sports. There's tons of gameplay features in here. First of all, it comes with the world of Mount Kamarebi, which I think is honestly a gorgeous world. It's also really versatile. So up here we have the like mountaintop. No matter what season it is, these are always snowy lots. Up there they have the bathhouse, which is fun. You can go to like the hot spring, which is a new feature. We didn't have that before Snowy Escape. And there's also these vacation rentals here, so you can send your Sims away on a vacation here. You can hike up the mountain, you can go skiing, you can go snowboarding, you can mountain climb, and it's actually really fun going up there. Down here we have some of the more residential lots. We also have a karaoke lounge. We've got a bar, a park over there. This is a Japanese inspired pack, so there are lots of like Japanese inspired decor pieces. You'll notice the entire world is like Japanese inspired. There's also different traditions incorporated into this pack. I think cultural representation in The Sims 4 is really important, so seeing this pack was honestly really refreshing compared to a lot of the packs that we have. Create a Sim items I love. I love a lot of these hairs. I think they're beautiful. Again, we have a lot of the like snowy inspired items, like cold weather stuff, which again, I'm very here for. Especially for menswear, I find myself using this pack a lot for that. Like this here is my favorite item in the whole game. I use that for like all of my male Sims. This one here is really nice too. So yeah, I love Snowy Escape CAS is great for me. The build and buy too, I've said this in so many videos of mine. I find the swatches on a lot of these items really beautiful. Window and door selection alone is amazing. This table here is a new feature to The Sims 4 where your Sims can actually sit on those pillows and eat around the table. I love the kitchen appliances with this. I love the bathroom stuff. Yeah, this is a great pack. I'm gonna put this one up there on Need It. It checks off all the boxes for me, honestly. All across the board, I think everything is really great with that. So we're gonna go Need It. Snowy Escape. Moving on to The Sims 4 Cottage Living. The Sims 4 Cottage Living is another really good one. This one is obviously focused around cottagecore elements. We get this new world of Henford on Bagley. This does contain a lot of really big lots, very lush scenery, very green. We have the downtown portion here with the bar. In terms of like commercial lots here, there's not a whole lot. We have the bar at the bottom. You can do some window shopping in the town square, but it's kind of just like empty gameplay there. There's a stand where you can buy like vegetables. But I think the gameplay in this pack is really fun. You can have like cows, chickens, rabbits, there's foxes that'll come by. There's a lot of wildlife in this. This pack also focuses a lot around like farming and gardening, so you can grow a whole bunch of new crops and you can enter them to win at this like fair competition thing. We have the new cross-stitching skill, which is fun. We can do picnics here. I don't know, personal preference for me, I love like farming games and stuff, so this is right up my alley. Create a Sim is so cute. We have all these cottagecore, cozy little items. I love the patterns on a lot of this stuff. They have like the bunnies, a lot of floral patterns in here. The hairs are really nice. The little strawberry and flower earrings there, I love. Yeah, a lot of this is really cute. Build mode as well. I use this stuff a lot. These windows are great. The actual like exterior features are really good too, like these chimneys and window details. Flooring and wallpaper too. I mean, this pack in general, this is a really well-rounded good pack. This pack was pretty well received in the community as well. I'm gonna put this one at Need It. I know there's a lot of like really good ones up here, but in terms of expansion packs, these are supposed to be where those are. A lot of the delete it and don't like it ones are coming. Don't you worry. I see quite a few on there that need to be there. Finally, the last and most recent expansion pack in The Sims 4 that we have is High School Years. This is the newest world that we got. I like this world. Up here, we have the high school, obviously. We've got like the auditorium up there. There's a really fun like carnival area down here, which I like. You can go on some rides. They're rabbit hole rides, so you don't actually see your Sim like go in there, but it is fun to go there. And then we have this area over here, the Prescott Square. And this is where we have the first thrift shop in The Sims 4. You can also get bubble tea. There's a library over here. So some fun like commercial lots for your Sims. There's also a fair amount of residential lots. Obviously in this pack, you can send your Sims to high school. So before this, teen Sims were sent away to high school in another rabbit hole destination, just like Sims are sent to work without The Sims 4 Get to Work. You don't get to see your Sims living their high school life, but with this pack, you do. However, the school itself, I found a little bit boring. When you go to the lot, it's pretty empty there. There's not a lot to do. There are new after school activities you can enroll your Sims in. We've got the chess club, computer club, cheerleading, and football. And we have the prom feature, which I sent my Sims here once and I was kind of let down by it, but honestly, in real life, prom was kind of a letdown too. So I mean, but your Sims can ask each other to prom, which is cute. You can also like prank other Sims a lot. So gameplay for me, I personally thought was kind of meh. The creative Sim items are really cute though. Some of the hairs in here are really pretty. There's some like cheerleading and football wear in here. I found a lot of items in this creative Sim selection that I like. And I also personally really like the build and buy. Some of these items are really school related. Like you'll find a lot of these items in a high school, but the other items that are meant more for like everyday kind of thing are so cute. The swatches are really pretty. A lot of them are really colorful, which I love to build with a lot of color. Just a lot of trendy items in the build and buy. This one is going to go for me at meh. So I'm gonna end this here. These are my rankings for the expansion expansion packs in The Sims 4. I'm gonna do separate videos here for the game packs and the stuff packs and kits. I wanted to fully break down every aspect here for these expansion packs in this video. What does your tier list look like? Do you have any differences in here to mine? If you guys like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.